Tanya and Shane, thank you both for joining us. Tanya, let's start with you. Why did you want to tell the story of the 1974 occupation at Anishinaabe Park?
When I first heard about the story, I was embarrassed that I didn't know about it. I found out about it when I was actually researching my second book, and I always knew I wanted to come back and tell the story of the occupation because I hadn't heard about it. And the more I found out about Louis Cameron and the Ojibwe Warrior Society and the stand they took at Anishinaabe Park, the more I realized, wow, we got to get this story out there. We got to tell our youth that we have heroes. We've got people that stand up and fight, and we need to tell the story to the world.
Shane, were you familiar with what unfolded over those nearly 40 days, and why did you want to help bring this chapter in history to a larger audience?
I mean, I had heard of this story off and on over the years. My dad, Tony Belcourt, is an Indigenous rights leader for his whole life. And so I definitely sort of grown up in and around the idea of movement and that tension between grassroots and elected leadership and sort of where they can work together, where they might find conflict. People want changes, rightfully so, as quickly as possible. How do you affect change within the crown, the world, and that slow molasses that they like to kind of grind things out as? And it was just a chance, really, I think, as Tanya mentioned, not only to honor Louis Cameron, but honor his son, Tyler, as he's trying to remember and think about, what did my dad do? What can I do? And what does it mean to grow up with this legacy of who we are, but also how much we love being who we are?
Mm-hmm. Tanya, there was a 50-year commemoration in June of 2024 of the occupation and renewed calls for the park to be returned to the First Nations, which still hasn't happened. Has much changed in the last 50 years in Kenora?
I wish I could say that everything's changed, but sadly, that's not true. We have seen recently as well the shooting and the killing of a man in Anisinabe Park. He was from Wapakika First Nation. We are still seeing people being treated poorly by police in the streets of Kenora. We're still seeing a fight for basic human rights, not just in Kenora, but for all of our nations, right? All throughout Northern Ontario and all through Canada. I wish I could tell you that things have changed in Kenora. They haven't, but at least we're telling the story and we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Shane, the doc is having its world premiere at TIFF. A lot of people have been wanting to see this film. What do you hope people take away from it?
I mean, you always hope that somebody walks away with a film about how we need to honor ourselves and stand up together, that there's a sense of a call to action, or the continued call to action to always stand up for protecting our spaces. And really, I hope that people, from a writ large kind of sense, you learn about what happened in Anishinaabe Park in 1974. And even when we were talking to people yesterday, that everybody then starts walking around. We've got a Louis Riel shirt. You should have a Louis Cameron t-shirt. You should see his beautiful face and on everyone's chest. And everybody should go, I know who that is and I know what that means. It means to stand up for us because we love who we are.
And Tanya and Shane, bonus question, when and where can our audience and us be able to watch it later down the road?
Well, we're going to be actually holding a screening in Kenora as well for community members at the Kenora Movie Theater, downtown Kenora. That's going to be hopefully in October. We're trying to make it so it's not conflicting with moose hunting season. And you will be able to see it on APTN because APTN is one of our sponsors. Yeah! So we're looking at next year sometime. I don't know the date. They haven't told me.
Hopefully sooner than later. Tanya and Shane, thank you for your time, and we appreciate it, and we hope you have a great debut at TIFF, and wish you all the best.
Miigwech.